are recording for the audio people. Audio people, we're going live on Facebook, not like you care.
And if you're the guy who gave us 1 star,
Yeah.
fuck you.
If you're the prick that gave us 1 star
On the audio.
on the damn iPod app, whatever. Podcast, Google, no, it wasn't Google, it's the Apple Podcast app.
No, a Google person would do that.
Yeah, right. They
just
all
happy,
market.
just happy to have.
I guess true, it's free. So they would just be like, free content. I love it.
Give me all of it. Now I'm going to talk shit.
So, Amy is in Canada and has no service. Go figure. So, we're waiting on Canada to figure out the internet, and then she should be signing in.
Is
Bummer.
She from Canada?
Yeah. Bummer that there was no national this weekend.
Bummer, except for I thought I was missing the national, and then my dad's like, "No race this weekend. That's weird."
Why? What did you? What did you have to do?
I had 2 birthday parties, a Bible study group, and what else was it?
Busy weekend.
It was a busy weekend. That's pretty much it. It was like a bender the whole weekend.
The whole weekend.
Even
Bible study, birthday parties, just alcohol everywhere.
It was just like booze flowing.
It was like whoa.
Like a old rap song.
Yeah, exactly. Like whoa.
Like, whoa.
I got clown shoes today, son.
Ew,
Mango American.
Oh, clam. I thought you said clam cheese.
Clam shoes, damn it. Clown shoes. I've already had like 4 clam shoes already. So.
You're blurry, you know that? I think
How's
it just
this?
popped up. Ah!
Are you here?
Better. How about now?
Hold on, let me get the right frame here so I can see live. There you go.
You can see it?
No, I just seen the picture, the Karate Kick picture. It's back.
You guys, I'm on like 3G network here.
That's fine. Right now we can hear you.
Okay, perfect.
Sounds clear.
Yeah. Hey, do you have cell phone headphones like with the mic thing?
I do.
That may help.
Yeah. Okay. One second.
She sounded alright over here.
Well, I'm just trying to
step the game up. Do I sound alright?
You do sound alright. I'm trying to mess with my EQ. Yeah, don't inside your mouth is worse.
Echo.
Like yeah, inside of your mouth is.
I want you to hear my soul.
I can hear it crying.
Hang on, I need another drink.
What do you got? All day IPA.
Drink.
Yeah, I didn't want to come.
This
Yeah,
out.
like stumbling
How's
into
this?
this thing.
That
Sounds
good.
great.
Perfect.
All right, we're going in with it.
No, I can't hear you.
Nobody,
I don't know what's going on.
Nobody on audio is freaking out about that. None of
There goes our stars.
Somebody else just gave us 1 star. The dickhead.
Sorry, guys.
No worries. That's our whole issue is audio, I'm pretty sure. That's why the only reason anybody, well, other than they dislike me.
I've argued with people online, so that could have been it too.
Do you guys have all new MacBooks?
No.
Well, apparently they got rid of the that external hard drive port, and me and Jim are having a hell of a time too with all of our audio and having to get all new connections, and it's just a shit show.
What does it run, like that lightning cord or whatever it is?
Yeah.
See, I got both on my computer because I bought a refurbished one, so.
These are all the brand new ones, 2017 to 18.
See,
They
that's
just
why.
switched all technology.
That's why I
That's Apple
wait.
for you.
That's why I just wait it out, and then eventually I'll end
This
up
is
getting
why
that cord
I
for
have
something
like
else.
a five-year-old Dell.
Adele.
Everything
Adele.
plugs into it.
Dude,
Perfect.
Nick's Captain Android.
I'm just fighting it.
Are you an Android?
Yeah, of course. That's why I'm here. That's why it's working. Oh,
Oh, jeez.
I'm not an Android.
That's why we can see Nick. Is what he said.
I'm a user. Even in my flyover state.
Yeah, Nick's, it's pretty clear on Nick's end. It's a little blurry on yours.
What?
Yep.
Clint's computer has a breathalyzer, so we're seeing him how he sees us.
Is that what it is?
Well, you've been out yakking all day.
I was kayaking with my girlfriend.
So what area are you guys from?
I live in New Jersey.
And I'm in Illinois, south of
Illinois.
Chicago.
Nice.
And you're in Canada?
I'm in Canada. Just the big part. The big,
Where-
flat, boring part.
Where a boot?
Winterpeg.
Where?
You probably don't know it because you'll drive or fly over it and not see anything.
Yeah, that's
You can watch
our
a dog
joke
run
about
away
Nick.
for like 5 days.
Yeah, I
It's
get
like
that.
Illinois, but everything is dug down, like our snowbird hills and ditches. Like it's as flat it can get, and as cold as it can get.
Yeah, that's Illinois. Minus the as cold as it
Do you
can
have
get.
do you have a Great Lake, Amy?
We have a Lake Winnipeg, not a Great Lake,
See.
but
See.
it's pretty great.
Says you.
Yes, but we do have good motocross tracks. Like it's like that chocolate cake dirt. For the boring part of Winnipeg, we actually have a ton of moto tracks. It's all farmland here, so nothing else to do.
Yeah, perfect.
Perfect dirt. That's what we got. But we got to fight with the farmers for it.
Yeah, the bean fields of Illinois.
That's
right,
my
we rode it-
backyard. Oh, yeah. I see where you're at. I had to look it up. I know that's bad, but I had to.
Post it up
Winnipeg?
so we can all see it.
Oh, yeah, I can do that.
Share it with us, Nick. You're not driving.
I know. Last week I was road tripping, so I didn't get to
Where to?
eat. I was dropping my sister off in Kentucky. I thought I was going to Cincinnati, and then it was Kentucky. Basically the same thing.
Oh, she's straight above you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can fly with both of us at the same time.
Well, you're below Ontario, so like Ontario's beautiful. Winnipeg, not so much.
I think it goes this way, though, with the flat earth. Let's see.
You guys are just parallel on the flat Earth.
If I drive straight down, though, I go through like Minnesota, North Dakota, and like Oklahoma. I don't know my American geography that well. Don't
Those are rough.
get on me.
That's a rough
Dude,
drive.
look at the can you see you can see us? I bet you just haven't allowed us to see your camera or something. Look on
Yeah.
there and see if there's an X over a camera at the bottom of your screen.
Like, move the mouse around, you'll see the hang-up button at the bottom.
I just see a map now.
Well, no, but if you move your cursor
Oh
over
shit! Here we go.
or touch the screen, at the
I
bottom.
got a microphone.
And then there's
Yeah,
a
the one-
camera looking one.
Hold on.
Microphone, phone, and a camera, right?
Yeah, and they're all black except the phone thingy. It's
Oh.
red.
Hit the camera. Try that one.
Hello.
Mm-hmm.
I just see my picture and I see another like. I see.
That's us doing geography.
What the hell?
Didn't the Winnipeg Jets do pretty good this year?
Yeah, pretty good. I think they made it to. Okay, I'm not a hockey fan. Don't be on my butt about it. I know.
We're
You
not.
guys are American, so I think I can say that and get it.
That's fine.
yeah, I
Although
think
I am a Rangers fan.
and Rangers are what sport?
Hockey. You're
Who are
like
they
me in
for?
every other sport.
I know. Okay, like I'm not into team sports. I am a diehard Moto Kid, so I like the X Games or Olympics. I'll probably watch more of the figure skating and Olympics than I will hockey game.
I mean, I understand that hockey's
do it,
literally
yeah.
the only thing that I watch other than motocross.
What's that?
Hockey's the only sport that I watch other than motocross. I don't watch anything else.
You don't watch X Games?
Oh, well, yeah. Like I said, other than motocross. So I did freestyle for 16 years, yeah. I enjoy X Games. Did we lose her?
No, I don't know, maybe.
Not you.
She might be mad about the X Games
She
coming
might
up.
be mad. I'm
Hello?
sorry. I'm sorry. I like the X Games.
You there?
Blame Canada. Blame Canada.
Hello?
We can hear you.
Hey, okay.
We're just singing Blame Canada.
I think it's just this house.
It's just
I'm at
that
my
house.
parents here.
We're going to just blame Canada.
I am revamping my dad's motorhome for Father's Day. I'm doing like extreme motorhome makeovers right now.
Is he,
What are you doing to it?
this?
Just gutting the inside, like redoing the walls and the flooring. It's a little bit of a hot mess in there, so.
Just gutting it. No worries, Dad.
Oh yeah,
You
well
guys hear
every
that?
time I like try something else, it's like opening Pandora's box, and I might have taken on a little bit more. I can chew. Yeah.
So anyway, we've actually spent more time just chit-chatting about nothing.
Yes.
So
You guys are making me all nervous. I feel bad that my reception sucks. And
Hey,
Doesn't matter.
listen, we had to cut Nate Adams off at like 45 minutes because someone's internet kept cutting out. We're just like, sorry, Nate, nobody can hear you. And
Oh
we
my
just stopped. Yeah, so, you know.
I haven't talked to him since. He won't even answer
I've
calls.
texted him since then. So
I just made that all up. I was
Alright.
just trying to start some shit.
Salt in the wound, guys. Salt in the wound.
us. Nate hates us. We've been feuding online all time.
Yeah, we got the exclusive footage of it happening. It happened here first.
So you obviously raced motocross, correct? Well, you still
Correct.
race. So when did you start racing? You raced as like a little kid?
Well, back in the day, geez, I'm gonna age myself here, guys. Back in the day, there was no 50cc class. We just couple kids of the parents rode around the pits, and they made a little circle track. And it was actually my dad was, talked to the promoters and said we need to get the kids riding. And yeah, me and another girl here in Manitoba are actually the first little girls to start racing back. I think I was about 3 years old. Started really young. But there's just 3 kids. We just, there's only 2 tracks that had a little 50 track. But yeah, we kind of started from the ground up here.
What
Again,
year
I'm
is
aging
this?
myself. I'm 29. Like, damn.
So what,
Next year I'll be able to race plus 30.
yeah, you'll be
Well,
able to
then-
race vet class.
I know.
Plus,
Hey,
plus 30 is always fast.
I know. And plus 25 is fast.
Yeah. Plus 25 is real fast. For some reason it drops off at 30. 30 is like a little bit slower than 25 is. It's not quite as intense.
Yeah, but plus 30, they're still, kind of trying to show them young boys what's up. So, but my dad had a pretty successful career, like in plus 30 and plus 40.
Well, so
And,
that's what I was gonna say too. You kind of jumped in on me. Your dad's like kind of a Canadian, like he's a well-known Canadian racer, right?
Yeah, my dad is a legend, and like self-proclaimed legend from me because he is my father and has taught me everything that I know. And it's been really cool now that I'm older to kind of sit back and take it all in, like what all my dad has accomplished and how he's accomplished it. Like it's wild. Even this weekend, it was kind of a reality check. I drove 13 hours with one of my friends to like a pro-am race. I was the support class. Women's were the support class. But, my dad did it for years, just me and him in the van, driving around North America. He was racing like dashes for cash and lining up for a plus 25A, usually a pro payout and pro class. But, he was doing it on his own and me tagging along. But I didn't really realize until this weekend, like how much effort it is. And I only did one weekend, never mind every single weekend by himself. He's his own mechanic. He's helping me out too. if I wasn't brought up that way, just traveling to the races in a van with my dad, I would have a completely different perspective of it all. Like now, I appreciate it. Back then, like you have no idea what it takes. Like you're just kind of along for the ride. Um, but now it's kind of brought me back to my roots now that I've finished my pro career and I'm just hanging out having a good time with my friends. But I didn't realize how his career really evolved. Like he won the 79 national Canadian championship with my mom traveling in a van again, across Canada. And then for years, like him and my mom and myself just loaded up the Winnebago across Canada, and he was racing the plus, like the vet Canadian national championship. So like he's very humble. Like he is the guy who will lend you his bike and his own class if you wanted to ride. He's just so badass. I can't even explain it.
So in '79, he had to have been in Canada. He had to be one of the first people not using horse and buggy, huh?
Yes. Yeah, old clapped out bikes. I'm pretty sure we still have his championship bike in the garage here. But yeah, I mean, riding those vintage bikes, like I can't believe how, those guys used to just shred on those things back in the day.
They didn't know any better.
And he still has the old school style nowadays. But yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, my dad didn't ride at all. Like he built motors and stuff and built Harleys and cars, but like he never raced dirt bikes or anything. So like our first race we went to at Englishtown, and then when we got done with the first moto, we started loading up. I was on 80s. I was like 13. We start loading up, and the kid next to me that I raced with is like, "Where did you guys break your bike?" And I'm like, "No, man, we raced. That was it." Because I literally only seen
Yeah.
Supercross. So I thought that was the main event, and that was it,
Yeah.
And the kid's like, he's like, "Hey, no, we got another race." And I was like, "What? No way." Because we didn't know anything, It was
Yeah.
like,
But that's how the memories are made. Like you learn as you go. And, that's the fun part about it. Like, you never remember like the championships you won or the races you won and where you go. Like you remember that time that you almost loaded up and, missed your second moto. I remember the time we got lost and ended up in a different state racing a completely different race. It's the adventures along the way that I can sit back now and actually like appreciate. I've seen both sides. Like I've seen, the families come and put all their money together and, go out and do the Lorettas in the amateur scene and, chase that pro card and that's okay. I mean, if that's the way they want to go about their racing career, but mine was very different. It was about my dad. It was like, here's a bike game. If you want to race, sure. If you don't, that's fine. And that's probably why I still race to this day. I was never pushed. You know, my dad was there to win. Like that's how we made our money, and he kept the bikes rolling in and stuff. It was for him. And then I remember getting dead last in super mini class with the guys, and I just was fed up. I'm like, okay, I need to train. I actually want to be good at this. There's nothing else I'm good at all. I tried a little bit of everything. But it was up to me. Like I didn't have that dad that pushed me into racing. He gave me advice when I needed it, but really he just kind of paved that way to show me what this sport actually has to offer. Traveling, meeting new friends, seeing new places, and like making it work. Like that's what we are about, just making it work. I remember going to Millville one time and we had no cutlery, we had no barbecue sauce or plates or anything, and I ate a steak out of the back of the van with a screwdriver, and I will remember that moment for the rest of my life because, we just made do. But that's, like the coming of age story, if you will.
Yeah,
that's the best times.
Travel.
Where else do you get memories like that?
The circus.
Not baseball.
Yeah, any sport. Like, I mean, any.
No, I said not baseball.
No.
I said the circus.
Whether it's baseball, hockey, soccer, whatever, even knitting, man. Like if you have something that you're invested in, like sports teach you like core values that, this new generation of the digital kids who are on their iPhones and their iPads and gaming or whatever,
Hopefully
they're never
listening
getting
to this podcast.
Yeah. You can still listen to this podcast and be working in the shop, okay? But, sports teach you these fundamental lessons of, hitting the ground hard as possible and picking yourself back up and finishing the race. And, you know, what you learn going to a motocross track with your family and your friends is just, you know, lessons that you'll be able to carry wherever you go in life. And, you know, it's been an interesting journey for sure for me, but riding and racing and the whole process of it just brings me really like back to my roots. And I'm super grateful that I've been able to do with my family and my dad and my mom. And yeah.
So you raced the women's pro class and the women's pro nationals and stuff?
I did the Canadian Nationals for a little
Okay.
while. I think it was 2007, I want to say, because I believe that's when I graduated. Kind of that story, graduated high school, went down to California for quote unquote our winter. Well, us Canadians usually have to migrate somewhere else. But had no concept of what it took, you know, got my first credit card, went to California. You're really like caught up in the lights and camera and action about it all, and really distracted. Like I had no idea what I was doing. And, you know, I kind of wasted it. Like I wasted that opportunity of going down there and getting my first training experience in Cali. But yeah, after that, went back, did the Canadian Nationals, broke my wrist, first race, first moto, first corner. So,
Nice.
yeah. Hello?
Yeah. That's just Nick breaking up because he's in a flyover state.
Yeah, I mean, my pro racing career is extremely short-lived and very, you know, up and down. I was a privateer, doing it with my friends, you know, doing it by myself. Like, I had no idea what I was doing, but, you know, it helped me get to where I am today. Like, I can honestly say I've never won anything big, but I'm okay with that. It took me, like, a lot of years to be okay with that, and it was when I was done trying to be pro that I actually got faster and started getting better because there was no pressure.
Yeah.
I was out just riding around and having a good time.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people call me out. A lot of people wonder, you know, what have you done? Like, I've never won a Canadian National. I've raced one WMX race when WMX was still, or WMA in the US. I got the opportunity to go over to Europe and race the FIM championships. Broke my shoulder. No big deal in practice.
Nice.
So, yeah, like I
Or
can
you
say
went
that
to
now.
Europe and then got hurt in practice?
Pardon me?
You went to Europe to race the MXGP and got hurt
Yep.
in practice?
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Where
Yep.
were you at?
In France.
Ugh,
Yeah.
such a
Yeah.
bummer.
Such a piss off.
Well-
But again, like it took me years to be able to be okay with that. It took me a long time to be able to say, yeah, I went there. I, you know, kissed the opportunity goodbye. But it was everything all along the way that's really, you know, the connections I made, the people I talked to, and just that whole experience that I've been able to learn from it.
I tell
And,
people
yeah.
all the time about my freestyle career that I didn't do everything that I wanted to do and like make it to X Games and things like that. But I also saw a lot more than I ever imagined that I would. Even in my head, going to X Games and doing all that, I never included all the things that I actually did see along the way and the experiences that I had, which I think is what you're saying. You know, it's like you didn't reach your goals that you thought that you wanted, but you still, you know, end up experiencing a lot and having, you know, a bunch of memories that are maybe, you know, and I don't know, I didn't win anything big, and maybe that's super cool and it's way better than memories, but right now at least I have good times, you know, and good experiences.
Yeah, well, back when you're 16 years old, even younger, I was probably like 13, 14, I told myself that I wanted to win a Canadian National by the time I was 16. You know, when you're younger, you have all these, you know, ridiculous expectations and ideologies of how you think your career is going to play out and what you want to do. And you really have no idea. Like, I went to school. I always had to go to school. I always had to have a job. And I had to go to university. So, you know, I didn't know at 13 years old that I was going to try to race pro while going to school. And it's tough. Like, you know, that was a big fork in the road that you don't plan when you're 13 years old. You don't put it into the equation, but you set these expectations for yourself, and when you're young and you don't reach them at that time, it's like your world falls apart and you don't know what you're doing, and it's super heavy on you. And it's not until you're older and realize that, expectations are just almost a waste of time, if you will. I've learned now later that it was the fact that I just kept setting these ridiculous, outrageous goals that allowed me to, keep that career going no matter what direction it was. And I was very open to whatever came my way to say yes, to put down the bike and go to school and start working in the industry and work on the business side, because that opened a lot of doors as well. I never thought that that's what I'd want to do when I was 13 years old, but I had to pay the bills. I needed to, pay my way if I wanted to race all summer. So it was a hard pill to swallow when I was young to, set these goals that I wanted to win. I wanted to be the best. And I thought that's how I was going to be able to leave my legacy and have a good career. But now I realize that, if that's not for me. I know I'm not going to be the best. I don't like to train. I don't like to, I have a million other things going on. It's a full-time investment, and that's not for me. I need to kind of spread myself out and do a bunch of other things. But that's how I went about my career, is just trying to do a little bit of everything, trying to have a rounded knowledge of all sides of the industry, being a brand rep, working for working in the industry on a whole bunch of different levels. It really made me understand, the sport that I love and how it all works. And it's opened so many more doors. So I'm super thankful.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like men get paid shit for races. I would imagine the woman's purse is ridiculously low.
There's a woman's purse? What?
Is there?
Really?
So WMAs, they didn't get paid for that?
I have no idea. It was WMA and then WMX, or it switched, and it was only around for a short period of time.
There had to have been some sort of pro
Oh,
pay.
absolutely. I think
Okay.
and it was minimal. It was the fact, it was to cover maybe your entry fee. I mean, there was nothing other than maybe a factory sponsorship that, Fiolic and Sarah Whitmore, Patterson, and Price had. And, I mean, those chicks were fast. I mean, those girls earned their factory sponsorship. But unless they were getting money from the factory, how do you make any money racing as a female? I was not going to be able to pay my bills and do what I love to do and go racing all summer, chasing a championship. Yeah. And even now, I see these girls who, drop everything and go and race the Canadian Nationals. And I mean, that's fine. You do you. If that's your goal, you go and do that. But you need a plan B. You have to understand that you're not going to be able to put a down payment on a house or, buy a vehicle and, pay your bills doing that. You need a plan B, and people don't realize that you ain't going to make millions racing as a female motocross racer. No. But you can race and you can do a podcast or you can work in the industry. You need to find a balance with something else to be able to basically, it's this is what we do for fun, as pro as you want to call it. I mean, this is still a weekend warrior sport.
Yeah, for the, obviously for the females it is, for sure. And I was thinking about that for local races, there is no female payout, is there? Because I was thinking about it. There's no women's A, women's B. There's just a women's class at local races. So they probably don't pay out that either, do they?
Nope, no payout. I remember one time years ago, I got $20 back. One track decided they were going to do a payout. And I was the happiest day of my life. I'm why don't they do this all the time?
Yeah.
There's little ladies class or girls class, and then there's women. But, the top couple girls in the U.S. Switched to GNC now. They do the enduro. And, I mean, those chicks are fast as well. There's, girls with Casey Martinez, I believe her name is.
I don't know. I don't follow women.
Let's just leave.
Yeah, get a beer.
I don't know. I haven't watched any GNCC stuff. I should have, but
Well, GNC now is where the money is. All the girls who used to race motocross, flipped sides and went to the dark side and do GNC.
well, good.
There's nothing for moto anymore.
When freestylers start riding quads because they make more money, we call it going gay for pay. So, we could just call it the same thing.
How does the freestyle work? Like, where is that transition?
What do you mean?
You transition to getting a job because
or to a crutches.
Yeah.
And then they're getting a job. That's what I did. It's weird. Like freestyle is really weird because there is no like building series. We tried. Mm-hmm. I had a series for like 6 years. Amateur.
Which one?
The FMX I had the FMX East Challenge, and then we did the Moto X Challenge. It was all in the United States. We did like 5 or 6 of them a year. But it was just all amateur stuff. We'd have like a pro class or something maybe.
But that's cool. Like that gives these amateur kids something to, work towards.
Yeah, but they were
show.
Yeah, but you get it. You get it. But they were such pricks. Kids would write me and be like, "Hey, what's the payout?" And I'm like, "Payout? It's an amateur contest." Mm-hmm. Like I'm spending like $1,000 every one of these I do like 6 of them a year. I'm like, I can't pay people any money. I'm already losing money on these things just trying to.
I showed up and didn't ask what any of the payouts were.
He didn't say shit, and that's.
I just wanted stickers and a drink with Clint, and he blew me off on both.
Shut up.
Loser.
That's. No,
this kid's nagging me to drink with him.
Nick won the novice class, and then he come back the next year and won the amateur class, and then we started using him in shows with us. We even gave him a company credit card, and he would buy drinks on it all the time and send us pictures of his receipts.
Oh my goodness. See that people abusing the system here. But, I mean,
that's exactly right. You tell him.
Yeah.
Hey, he keeps coming back.
Well, that's the thing. You started a good thing, and people abuse this system, and people don't see. Like, I see this with track promoters and like the race series here in Manitoba too. That transition from people who are passionate and are riders or racers, who start something, and you have all these other people who come in, throw their kids in, and they're trying to live vicariously, through their child, and don't care, for actually trying to see the progression of the sport and the fact that this series that you started is supposed to be a stepping stone and a foundation to introduce new athletes and like spark that passion and get kids involved. And it sucks when you actually give a shit and people don't. They kind of ruin it for everybody.
How much of that is like moto dads though?
Yeah.
Like pushing and like I spent all this money to get here and now my kid's not getting into the main or whatever.
Yeah, and like going back to my dad, that's the reason I'm still racing is because my dad did not care if I was first or last. He knew that I was going to be upset if I got last. If I got beat by that 16-year-old girl, at 24, he knew I was going to be pissed, and he just, kind of let me be. But we did it to have fun and have a good time and enjoy it. And, I watched a 50 dad get in a fist fight with a flagger this weekend, okay?
Yeah.
It's insane, and these kids just get pushed.
He should have been flagging right.
Yeah, where was he at?
He was standing on the track with a beer in his hand, and the flagger was not happy. And this is Pee Wee class. Like, the kid was 4 years old.
The dad had a beer?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, fuck yeah. Man.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, by all means, but, don't punch a poor flagger. I mean, he's just there trying to
What happened? Was the flagger like, listen, sir, you can't have that beer out here? And he was like, what did you say? My kid's racing. Wham! Is that how
I have no idea. I just heard about it later. But, damn
it.
You get, like, this crazy...
Here it is.
You found it, Nick?
No, I just found that Moto Dad's.
Cankles? Okay. Oh, heck yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, I see that all the time. Like, I teach motocross schools now, so it's really interesting to watch, the family dynamics and pay attention to the parents. Like, it's entertainment. The kid, I've seen parents literally do the whole moto running beside their kid on the track. Like it's impressive. I'm pretty darn impressed, and I'm pretty terrified to when I'm gonna have a moto kid. But you know, I mean, as long as your kid is having a good time and staying out of trouble, I mean, you do you. Oh, I couldn't imagine like selling your the family farm in your life and packing up and going to chase your kid's dreams. Like, what kind of pressure is that on a 12-year-old kid?
Yeah, exactly. I feel like that's unnecessary.
Dude,
Let's wait it out a little longer than 12.
this little 50 back here,
Settle down.
this little 50's been in the family since like 2001 when my nephew got it, and I've jumped in. And that's all the pressure I cast, and it's like, you want to ride it? And he's like, nah. And then some days he just asks me, and that's when we ride. Otherwise,
that's awesome though.
You're not raising no champion, Nick.
I know, and I think about that because some kids are like killing it right now. I'm like, he can ride, he can kick ass, but if he doesn't want to ride, I don't know.
But I love that. But you might be raising a champion because those kids at like 9 years old are gonna get burnt out. If they don't want to ride and their parents are dragging them into the track, and you get it. You get it as a guy who rides how to go about it.
Well, that's how my dad was. He never ever. He was like, because he was always worried I was gonna get hurt, and then he'd feel like it was on him. But he just never pushed me. But I still, he got me everything I needed. He's like, "Do you want to race? Here it is."
And that's why you still love it, and that's why you guys are like, still invested and involved in this industry. Like you see people come and go, like freaking, night and day. Like they show up once at Loretta's, get mid-pack, and boom, sell everything.
Man, I know people that show up to 2 shows and then that's the end of it. They did freestyle.
Yeah, I mean it's a whole different ballgame with you guys. Like I couldn't even imagine, the injuries that come along with freestyle. Like we talk about it a lot actually on Down and Dirty, but the evolution of freestyle. Like where is it going now? Like what's next? Like you've seen it kind of tame down a little bit in the last couple of years, but I'm actually really interested on your opinion in the next like 3 years.
I don't know.
I think it just cranked back up.
Yeah, with Pastrana coming out with that new ramp, I think that's going to open a bunch of doors that I don't want to walk through. I mean, I raced A class. I had a pro card. I did all that. I actually ended up getting into racing towards the end of my freestyle career. I knew I was like kind of over it, and I started getting back into racing. And I was going just all the time by myself, and I ended up breaking my leg, getting infection, having all these surgeries, blah, blah, blah. I quit freestyle, and then basically I started the 2 Wheels to Freedom thing, and then I asked Nick to do the podcast with me, and I still go and race it sometimes. I mean, I'm basically waiting for my leg to heal better, but I still go and race and stuff a little bit here and there, but I mean, yeah, like you said, I like dirt bikes more than anything, period, because I think, my parents didn't know enough to really pressure me into all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I just did it on my own because I wanted to do it. But I mean.
So how long are you off with your leg?
Well, I mean, it just drug on because I got an infection, and then I was off it for, I'm like 2.5 years now, but it's still visibly smaller than my other leg. I still think I have a little bit of infection in there because if I ride and I dab my foot down in a corner and it twists my leg, it hurts like in the middle of my shin, so I'm pretty sure it's not healed all correctly. But
damn.
So I mean, I was pretty much circling back to what you were saying. I pretty much was already over trying to do the things that all the kids were doing, and not even kids. Like I'm good friends with Javier and Brody, and I'm like, I don't want to have to do. I know the amount of commitment it's going to take to do what you're doing, and I do not want to have to do that, and I know the risk of it. So I was already kind of like bowing out. So once this injury happened and it took so long, I'm just like, maybe there's a sign. I just need to bow out of this. I'm not doing KOD flips. I did backflips. I did a couple of flip tricks, but I'm like, I don't want to have to do what those guys are doing. And I mean, it's crazy because, I don't know like where it's going. Honestly, if you're not in it and you're not progressing the tricks yourself, it's really hard to see what's coming next. Like, who saw that nose wheelie to front flip thing coming? I don't know. I guess it's magical. You know what I mean? But now all of a sudden it's a big thing, and I guarantee you in the next year or two you're gonna have 5-10 guys try that.
Yeah.
And that's
gonna change the courses too.
Exactly. So that's how everything is. The freestyle is so fast. You know, every single sport, knowledge compounds. So think about racers 20 years ago, right? So they're even getting taught by the guys, 5-10 years before them, right? But now the techniques keep, building on each other and all that.
Yeah, and the bikes change and
And now scrubs, like let's just take that scrubs. McGrath started kind of like pre-jumping into the faces and going lower, and then Bubba started actually carving on the face. And now look at these kids. Now you got 11-year-olds like scrubbing the shit out of everything.
I don't think I've ever really done a good scrub. Like I can do a butt scrub. Like I get my mom to take a photo of me and I realize my butt's just moved over. But yeah, I mean the riding style, the evolution of the riding style has really, really, really changed. But freestyle, I mean, there's no room for error. I mean, with like dirt bikes and racing, I mean, you can kind of progress, little by little. You have a lot more to work with. But freestyle, I mean, you make one mistake and your career is done.
Well, I totally agree with you, but I think now the implementation of foam pits was a huge one.
Yes, yeah.
And then now the airbags is really going to open up a bunch of doors because it's basically, foam pit is your worst case scenario practice. So practicing a flip, there is no such thing as a half flip. So you want to have best case scenario when you land on your head. I mean, some people don't, but it's a very select few. Most people are going to land on their head. I can tell you if I tried to learn flips to dirt, I would be dead.
Go on your phone and can you press play?
Hey, Ike, settle down.
Go on your phone and press play for a Fuller House so that we can keep on watching.
Hang on. All right, so not to interrupt, but Christy and her sister went to Target.
All right, take care of the kids.
Everybody loves Target. I got to go watch these kids. Make sure. I'll be right back.
All right.
Fuller House cut off on Netflix, so now
you can't have
dad responsibility.
I'll be right back.
What up, dude? What the heck were we talking about?
What happened? Foam pits and landing on your head.
Oh, yeah. I'd be dead if there weren't foam pits when I was learning.
Yeah.
For sure.
It just blows my mind though, like how much more fearless kids are nowadays. Like, look at the little Deacon. Like, how old was he? 9 years old, hucking a backflip. Like it's wild how fast kids are progressing as well, and just the boundaries that they push, and it kind of makes me a little scared. Like when I'm gonna have a little ripper, I don't want to think about it now because I don't want to be that crazy moto parent that's terrified of my child out there riding. But the competition is stiffer, and it just gets gnarlier and gnarlier, and I don't even know what to do if my kid wanted to be a freestyle rider. So,
well,
you guys are like a whole different breed. It's extremely impressive.
It's not that much different.
Yeah,
we're basically flunkies that couldn't make it racing, and then decided we were just going to do tricks. I mean, because that's what it was. I went to nationals and stuff, and then I seen there was a hill that in qualifiers on Saturday I was passing people. Ike's just in there talking. I'm passing people on this downhill, and then I see practice on Sunday, and Kevin Windham goes through there, must have been 2 seconds faster, and I'm just like, I gotta find something else to do because they're way too fast.
See, this.
Am I gonna have to call Nick?
See me? Friend.
Hey, Ike.
Hi.
What?
What is going on? It's a kid invasion.
Back on, guys.
Nicholas, what's going on here?
Yeah, I know Isaac.
He's in there messing with Netflix.
I got it.
You got it taken care of now, Nick?
Yeah. Oh.
Oh!
This is what's happening.
What's going on? Everybody aborted Netflix and now...
Yeah, we're the source of entertainment. Hi.
Is he hi?
Hi. Hi.
How are you?
Good.
This is Bryn, and which one are you? What's your name? That's Ike.
Whose dirt bike is in the back there?
Well, it's both of theirs, but she quit riding it, and he started riding it.
How come you quit riding?
I don't know.
She doesn't have a positive female role model, Amy.
Oh.
At least in riding. Sorry, Christy, before I get in trouble.
Yeah, don't start that.
She'll hate me even more, Nick.
House.
She quit because Fuller House came out, so she watches that. She doesn't want to ride. Hang on.
All right, put your phone down.
I know, I'm back on it.
There you go.
Sorry, I don't know what we interrupted, but
All right, you still there, Amy?
I'm back.
You're back. Is Amy still there?
I'm still here.
All right.
And I got a pee break out of it.
That was a kid break.
Oh, there's the Dell. I saw the Dell.
You saw, dude, you got a Dell.
Dude, you got a Dell. Where's that kid now? Didn't he get arrested for drugs or something?
No, that was probably 10 years ago, and you couldn't get caught smoking the pot.
Yeah, exactly.
Now Dell would have encouraged it. Like,
They
yep,
would be
that's
like-
us.
They're like, we're very progressive. Our spokesmodel smokes the reefer. So how did you get into monster trucks?
Monster trucks. Yeah, they say with age comes a cage, guys.
I tried.
And,
I contacted a bunch of independent monster truck drivers that I knew from doing monster truck shows, and they were like, "Can you drive a semi?" And I was like, "I don't want to." And that's as far as my monster truck driving career made it.
Yeah, well, the independents, I mean, that's a whole different ballgame. Like, they're usually just drivers of some guy who has a ton of money. Because I couldn't imagine, like, how they go about their career. But with Feld and Monster Jam, it's like what they've set up and created is, like, incredible. But yeah, I went to a show. I brought one of my little Moto Kids to the show here in Winnipeg. And Cynthia Gauthier, she drives Monster Mutt. Used to race motocross, like French-Canadian here. She raced some of the Canadian Nationals too. And I always followed her on social media. Like, the power of social media kind of brings all the moto chickies together. And you got to keep tabs on them all and see what's going on. But, yeah, I watched her show and I just sat there. I'm like, yep, this is what I want to do. There's a roll cage. I can make it to work on Monday and probably feel less sore. But I just kind of figured out what doors I had to knock on and who I had to contact. And, again, all my connections I've made in the past years really helped. And I got in. I got an audition at Monster Jam University. And I remember showing up and I was nervous. I don't drive anything with four wheels very well. I've been a two-wheel kid. I've made fun of the people who drive four wheels. So it was kind of a reality check. I don't know anything about, the engines and how to work on stuff. And that's a really big role, is knowing these machines.
You don't want him.
But, yeah, I got a call from my dad in the morning. He said, Amy, just drive it like you stole it and just go have fun. And, nowadays with Monster Jam, you can learn to be a great driver. But you have to know how to talk to the kids and talk on a microphone and how to captivate a crowd. It's a great job for what my skill set brings to the table. I am a big, bold personality. So this is a perfect job for me. This is where, if I had an end career, this is where I would have always dreamed of being. Never thought I would get there. But again, the fact that I dropped that goal of wanting to just be a pro racer and, chase that one dream, allowed me to open these doors and say yes to all these other paths that led to here. I'm super grateful that I, found this end goal. It's either going to be driving trophy trucks or razors. You see a lot of the two-wheel people, transition over there. But unless I got, $600 sitting in the bank, racing that Lucas Oil or anything four wheels is just like out of my financial range. So
Listen, you just gotta make your social media bigger and start advertising Fit Tea.
what's that?
You just gotta make your social media bigger, start advertising Fit Tea, and you'll be good to go. You could have the Fit Tea monster truck.
Oh yeah. Hold this little tea bag and you're instantly gonna get abs.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
I mean, social media is great now, and there's a stigma behind it. I know, people. There's a lot of fast, talented people out there, but the world and the industry is changing, and it is going digital, and people are paying athletes and influencers rather than spending $500,000 whatever dollars putting an ad in a magazine. I've was smart to kind of jump on that bandwagon at an early age, only because I understood how to use social media. But I mean, if you know how to use it right and you know how to create a good brand around yourself and kind of not sell out and post the fitsy stuff, like, you can use it to your advantage.
What does that sound?
I have no idea.
What's up?
It sounds like the Titanic coming into port right there.
Oh,
yeah.
You know what that was?
Your
I bet that was my phone vibrating
on the fucking counter that your shit was on.
Does that mean, is this thing on? Or is it listening through this one?
It's going through your camera. Or through your computer. But,
you know why? Because I unplugged it.
Yeah, but it was sitting there
So wait.
vibrating on the camera.
We kind of glazed over it earlier. Amy, you got a podcast, don't you? Is that the Down and Dirty?
I am a co-host to Jim Beaver's Down and Dirty radio show. We're a podcast and nationally syndicated on a whole bunch of radio stations. I mean, Jim's been doing it for years, and I've been very, very fortunate to, kind of be along for the ride with him. But, he's really introduced me to the four-wheel side of the world. Like, he's a pretty accomplished trophy truck racer, and his father is as well. But I've been able to learn so much about the whole other side of this world. Like, the four-wheel world is something I knew nothing about, and it's like 10 times bigger than motocross and like anything that has to do with two wheels. So it's been a learning experience. Jim is extremely knowledgeable. He's like a dad and a big brother and a business manager all in one. So I owe Jim pretty much my life.
I've just been walking through life blind, just like, where am I going? I don't know. Feel my way around here.
We just see what we bounce off of.
Yes.
I
was like, what am I doing? No, so...
How often does the Down and Dirty podcast start 20 minutes late?
Well, when we have technical difficulties, we have to pre-record on Tuesdays as well.
See, everybody. Even Race Day Live has a bunch of bullshit happen. I'm like, I don't feel so bad now, because they're always shutting off on us.
Technology works great when it works, and it's, all hell breaks loose when it doesn't.
Well, you know what the thing is?
We embrace the chaos.
Here's the thing, is that in the past, you would have to make something and, like, mail it to somebody or whatever, and now we just expect everything to be instant, and as soon as it's not instant, it's like, it's 10 minutes late! You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What are these
I
assholes
clicked on it, and it's not working now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So.
Yeah, the instant gratification is like an addiction, If your phone breaks down, no one knows how to basically survive anymore.
Well, see, here's how old I am. When I started doing freestyle, we had to use maps and atlases and shit.
Yep.
So you had to look up where you were going, then you had to go through your atlas and then run down on this highway, and you had to switch to the other page for the other state. And then once you get into the town, you got to go to the page that has the blown up version of the town. And then we have to go, then once you get there, you got to go, hey, what's a cool bar in town? Where should we go on Fridays, You can't.
Oh, I had many moto adventures where my mom has pre-packed the atlas for, Minnesota all the way to Texas. So, I mean, I never had to navigate. I am very directionally challenged, but, I mean, that's how it was back in the day. And, that's how it should be. I mean, again, that's the whole part of the adventure and the journey, is just figuring it out as you go. I mean, Siri does not get it right very often either.
No.
Google Maps is, can
for
steer
sure.
you in the wrong direction. But
Listen, I'm down with the adventure. When I was younger, we were like, we're going to Troy, Ohio, national, and like to go and race it, try and qualify. And we just started driving to. Now this is like, I don't know, 14 hours from here, maybe. We just start driving. We drive out there. We get to Troy, Ohio, and realize we have no idea. We had already signed up and everything. We realized we have no idea what the address of the place is.
Oh, and the track is usually off and
In the
down
middle of
some
nowhere.
gravel road outside of town.
Yeah. So what we do is we get into Troy, Ohio, and we start driving around. We find a fire station, and we're like, these guys got to know where the friggin' track is, right? Like,
Yeah.
So then we just go into the fire station. We're just like, hey, where is Kenworthy Motocross Park? And they're like, oh, it's down this way, that way, blah, blah. Give us directions, and we got there. But I'm like, what a bunch of assholes to drive 14 hours and have no idea where the actual track is.
That's awesome. Like
Yeah.
I love that stuff. Like that's what it's all about. And kids our age, today, are never going to experience that. They're never going.
No, they're gonna punch it in. Google Troy Worthy Motocross Park, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we should feel privileged that we actually got to experience that way.
It's true. That's true because like you said, directionally, like I'll walk out of gas stations, get my car, and drive back the direction that I just came from all the time. But it's like we are extra lost now because you don't have to pay attention. You're just go left, go right.
Amen. Yeah, you are so.
What road am I on? Who the hell knows? I don't know. It told me which way did you come in? I'm like, I don't know, dude. It made me a left, and then I made a right, and then I made another left. I don't know. The phone told me.
Even walking through hotels, you're face down looking at your phone.
Yeah.
You walk back out, you're like, oh wait, where am I?
Yeah. Which way
you don't
did
have
I
to
get
pay
off the
attention
elevator?
at all.
Yeah, but I get annoyed when old people are like, okay, you're going to want to go down, go east.
Yeah.
I know it sounds bad, but I'm like, lady, give me the
left or right.
Yeah.
I'm going to punch him in and I'm going to get there.
Yeah, what's the name of the place or the address? I'll Google it. Just settle down. Yeah, I have
Just
to do that all the time, too.
I forgot my pocket compass at home. Sorry, you got to give me some left and right directions.
Well, older people like my dad, my friend that I work with's dad, they just like to give you're like, I got the address, I'm good. They're like, no, so listen, you want to go
it's not going to get you there.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't even know where I'm at, all right? You're just wasting your time here. I don't even know where we are now. I'm sorry.
But that's how it was back in the day. They turned left at the cow and right at the broken down fence past the creek, and I don't think I could navigate that way at all. But I have, and I still do, drive to the city and still figure it out. I like to wing it. But I'm also a girl, so I have no problem stopping and asking for directions. But I enjoy that. That's the stuff I like. That's how you meet people.
Who would have thought Amy was going to make the first sexist comment of the whole podcast? I don't mind asking. I just refuse to.
There you go.
That's for the weak.
That's right.
I'll drive all over the place. Like, my wife will be like, okay, so which way are we going? I'm like, we're going that direction. I don't know where, but I'll keep turning.
I do it in stores. I'm like, hey, I just want to look around, all right, for what I want.
I'll go in. Even this weekend, I went in and beelined it to somebody. I'm like, hey, I need salt. Where do I get it? I don't like to waste time.
No way. I'm not asking anybody.
But you like to talk to people.
Yeah, I love to talk to people. And people think it's weird. I always get the weirdest looks at the register when I try to make small chat with the cashier, and it's like no one talks to you, or you think I'm weird because I'm asking how your day is, or commenting on my grapes I just bought. But there's no personal interactions anymore, and it's kind of sad.
Well,
I will still always go to the cashier instead of personal checkout at Walmart, no matter how long the line is.
Well, I never side with the robots, so I always go to the person.
Dude, fuck everybody. I'm going to the robots.
You sold out. Sold out to
I want to
AI.
talk to as fewer people as I can. And I want to get out of there as soon as possible.
This is Clint describing how he did pit parties before a show.
sunglasses, wear the Moto gloves, don't want to shake the hand.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
See,
So
and everybody
how-
would get mad at me because my line would be so long. Because I, ask them their life story. Like
I would sit next to you. I would make sure I sat next to you in the autograph line and hurried you along. I used to sit first. They would make me sit first. And I would sit there and I would go, one thing only. Because people would come up and they'd pull out like 5 things. And I'm like, we can only sign one thing. Because nobody else would do it. And I'm just like, sorry, dude. Pick whichever one thing you want to sign. And that was it. I'd hurry the line along.
I didn't have a long enough career to get that jaded. So I feel like,
Amy's
I know kids
cringing
said
right
one
now.
thing. Bring it all out. Let's go.
Amy's cringing right now
I
because
will
she's the
sign
exact
the kitchen
opposite.
sink. Okay, like if I maybe I see it differently, or I mean, and I get it. Some people don't like to talk to people. Like that's okay too. But I went from that point where
She already dislikes me.
no. You don't like to talk to people. We're not going to sit there and make you talk to, the grandma and the auntie inside the kitchen sink. But I eat that stuff up. Like, I love it. I want to talk to every single person who wants to talk to me because I'm just so happy they want to talk to me. I was that little girl who looked up to all these people, and to be able to transition in that role to keep, I always want to stay humble. I don't want to ever say no or have a negative look at it because I really, really, really appreciate everything that I've ever gotten. And to get to the point where people want your autograph and people want to say hi to you and take a photo with you, I do not take that for granted. I am grateful. I am lucky. There's people who have jobs that they just have to do to get by and make, they don't want to be there. Like, I got a dream job. You better believe that I am going to appreciate every single second of it because I don't know how long I'm going to be able to do this for, but as long as I can, I am going to, I am going to sign every kitchen sink and kiss every baby and just shake every hand.
Well, I'm going to sit in the line before you
thankful.
and curb that shit.
What's that?
I'm going to sit in line before you and I'm going to stop all that shit. I'm going to be like, no, only one thing.
I was at Redbud when McGrath when they had the box fans still. My dad's like, get in there. And I was like the shy kid. I kind of got in. And then he's like, all right, guys, I'm done. And I was like, I was devastated. And my dad's like, give me that fucking helmet. That helmet right up there. And he's like, we're going to get it. We walk around back. Jeremy, sign this shit. He's like, come on, guys. But, I mean, obviously I was never at McGrath level where I had that many people bothering us. But I just remember that, like, being this guy you look up to, and then they kind of, like, got to bail.
Here's the thing, Nick. Oh, and Amy, did you ever have anybody walk up in the autograph line and go, who did the backflip? And you're like, I did. And the kid looks disappointed as fuck. And then you're like, what's the issue? Not enough tattoos? And he's like, like.
No, here. Have you ever been in that line every time and they ask who did the backflip? And then every time, it's not you?
Yeah, but it was like, I felt like I cheated. They're like, oh, he won tonight. And I was like, we had it all planned out. I was the only guy backflipping. Like, it's not like, I feel like I'm looking at this all wrong. But
Well, I get it all the time, too. If you have a bad show, everyone kind of just looks at you and walks by. And
I won the show. No, I won the show. He was disappointed that the guy that did the backflip was me.
Oh, really?
And I don't have tattoos. He was
Clint always says his tattoos.
He was very,
I say his receding hairline.
The kid even said it. He wasn't upset about my hairline, Nick. He was upset that I didn't have fucking tattoos. He wasn't like, you're bald, you can't do backflips. He was like, I said, what happened? No tattoos.
Because like, there's only one bald guy that flips.
He was like, I said, if I had tattoos, would you believe I was the guy that did the flips? He goes, eh.
And that's when I tattooed my own leg. Because I was like, I want to tell kids I did the backflip.
But then you gotta have your leg on the counter. One time I bought fake tattoo sleeves and I wore them in the practice. I was like, what's up, guys? But that was it. I should have worn them all day.
Dave should have worn them at the pit party.
I know.
These are all like freestyle stuff that you probably don't get in racing quite as much.
Oh, I mean, Monster Jam's on a whole different level. I mean, those are the most diehard fans of life, and they're there to see Gravedigger. Like, don't get me wrong, I toured on the East Coast. And no, it hurts a little. It hurts a little bit when a kid's like bolting past your line to just go get a Gravedigger autograph. But that's what it is. I mean, Gravedigger created basically the sport that I'm in now, and built it from set the tone. It's been around for 35 plus years. But
stop it with
I've had the weekends where you win and you have a great show and have a wow moment and everybody wants to talk to you, and the night show you just suck and every kid kind of walks by and goes to the next one. And
kids are cold.
It's so cold.
Kids are so real.
They are. Yeah, they see you for who you are, and if you don't impress them, they will walk right by your line.
Screw this.
So which truck do you drive?
Zombie.
I think we have
the big old
zombie
arms.
truck. Go get zombie. I just got
I
it.
threw it away.
Ike threw it away. Hates a zombie truck, Amy.
Dang.
How do you feel about that little kid now?
I actually threw it away.
He threw it away. That's how cold he is. He threw it away.
How come?
He didn't do that. He did it tonight when I said you drove zombie.
He just did it just now.
He was like, "Oh, she doesn't flip that thing." No, he didn't.
The other zombie doesn't flip though.
Oh, she does flip.
Uh-oh.
Says you're a chump.
Get out of here,
Did you
little
see him
kid.
walk away and shake?
I don't think she knows how to take us, Nick.
That hurt, guys. I get that enough, okay? But yeah, I mean, you're right. Like, kids are super real. Like, if you have a bad show, they know too, and they just walk right on by. Like, they pour salt in the wound there.
Yeah. Did you flip? And then I go, no. And they're like, move on.
Move on.
And I'm like, I'll still sign. And they just don't care.
They're like, you got sick hair, though.
No, I didn't.
You do have sick hair, Nick. I would love your hair.
Hair? I don't even no product in it, Clint.
No problem. That's just natural?
That's just fluff. Look at it.
You bastard.
It's dusty hair, though. It's falling out. Not as fast as yours, but it's falling out.
Dude, mine fell out in mid-20s. It's way faster.
So what you have left is just holding strong?
It's just, this is, I think, what it's going to be for just the rest of my life.
Oh. But at least you're not, like, trying to grow it out.
It's no, I just committed. I was like, listen, what are we going to do?
Why don't girls lose their hair? I mean, I know some chicks lose their hair, but
They say it's because the guys wear a hat. Apparently, if you wear a hat for a long time,
I never wore hats. I was never a hat.
That's a myth. It's a myth.
That is a myth. I think it's all the testosterone.
Just all the grunting and push-ups.
That's why Nick has all his hair.
I have a high-pitched voice and plenty of hair.
Look at his
I think we
little
stressed
arms.
you guys out a lot. That's half the reason as well.
Look at his little arms.
I was gonna bulk up, but then I realized all my hair was gonna fall out, and I'm like, nah, I'll play the
You
hair.
can only have one or the other.
I'll stick with the hair.
Uh,
Muscles are played out. That's like 2017.
So what else are you guys doing now? So you guys run this podcast. So where have your, what's in the next 5 years of your guys' career?
Who the hell knows?
Dad life.
Yeah.
Fixing Fuller House on Netflix.
Nick's been in dad life for 8
Yeah,
years,
quite a while
9
now.
years.
7. Hopefully I get some K-Swisses and some jean shorts, and he doesn't fuck up the Rotas qualifiers. And we get... He's looking at me. Can you hear me?
I think when we get too crazy, she just blanks out on us. She's
I'm here.
She's like, what are these drunkards talking about? Where are they going with this?
Fist fights at Loretta's. I'm on board.
Yeah, I know.
Nick's not. Do you need backup, Nick? Because Nick ain't fist fighting anybody. Look at him. He's just.
I'll come in here first.
You'll just make them feel bad about themselves.
I just stay lean so I can outrun the fat mini dads.
There you go.
Low enough.
I'm trying to do comedy, and I've talked to a bunch of people that I know that still book freestyle shows about announcing stuff. What in the hell is going on over there, Nick?
I don't know. I got the door open so I can make sure nobody's dying in there.
I see that. Where did the
I
work
plan
go?
on, my goal in 5 years is that Clint makes it big in comedy and I show up and heckle him. That would make my day.
By then, I'll be super good at dealing with hecklers, so you don't want to do that.
Maybe. What about you, Amy? Where you headed?
Man, I have no idea.
We should have just said that, Clint.
Yeah, anything and everything though. Like that's the sweet part is I don't really know. Like I'm kind of open to whatever comes my way. Like I want to drive trucks as long as I can. Like it's awesome. I love it. I love traveling. I love meeting the fans. I love that the whole environment. It's just it's super surreal. Like it still feels surreal to this day that I'm doing that.
Nick,
But just waiting for plus 30 class, guys. I can't wait for vet class. That's gonna be the highlight of my life when I can finally race plus 30.
oh yeah, I reached
Oh,
there and
yeah.
it wasn't that. That's actually how I broke my leg racing a 30
Oh,
plus
great.
A class.
Well, thanks.
He's like, hey, you got a
Yeah,
positive?
I
Guess what happened?
literally whole shot this moto. I'm like 15 seconds in front of everybody, and I go to jump some triple. I jump once in practice, and case the shit out of it, and get bucked. And then next thing you know, I'm just like sitting there like, my leg is broke. There was no need.
Sir, calm down.
Long story short, there was no need to jump that triple. None.
That's motocross to a T, though. It's always like, I didn't have to fucking do
I
that.
didn't have
Yeah.
to jump that triple.
But you got to do it for yourself. You have
but-
to do it.
But there was no reason for me to think it was going to end as badly as it did.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's all pushing
So
yourself.
now I just roll everything and just hammer the corners.
Yep. Yeah, corner for dough, man. Jump for show.
I jumped for dough for a long time though. It's hard to break.
I know. Yeah, it's hard to gear down. It's hard to put it on cruise control, especially when you're getting beat by 13-year-old chicks and out jumped by a 14-year-old boy. It's hard to slow down and it's hard to transition your career.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Listen, you're preaching to the choir right now because I just
Yeah.
felt with like, what in the like what you just said. What the hell am I doing now? And that's still
Yeah.
kind of what I'm in that transition right now of what is after riding freestyle.
mhm. And
It
freestyle's
was-
probably the hardest transition. I can still go out and have a good time, racing plus 30, not breaking my leg, but
Listen,
know-
I have I race plus 30A, plus 35A. I have an amazing time. That stuff's
Yeah.
super fun to me. It always
Mhm.
was. Like I just got caught into that was my job. So like,
mhm.
and I got to a point where it, even jumping became monotonous, and I didn't have fun because I was always at shows. I did so many shows a year.
Yeah.
It wasn't fun anymore. And then actually going to tracks and riding tracks, and that kind of brought all that back because it, like you said, it was no more pressure on me anymore. It was just going to tracks and having fun. And then
But can you jump a ramp,
Uh,
for fun? Like, can you do that?
I would
and
rather go and race a track. I would rather go and ride a track. I'm sure
Mhm.
I could, honestly, but I just have a motorbike now, so my suspension's going to be super soft. And, if somebody has a big-ass landing with a big safety, sure, I'll jump it. But I'm certainly not going to jump to some sketchy little landing like I used to.
Yeah.
There's no need.
No, exactly.
and
Like,
once
what do
you
you have
get-
to prove anymore? And
Exactly.
Yeah.
And once you get to a point where you transition mentally, like you know it when you're doing stuff like that. You have to be all in, and you always have to believe that everything's going to work out correctly and that you're going to be all right. And once you no longer have that commitment to it, it's really hard to do that.
yeah, it is. But usually when the guard is down and you're having a good time, and you start to flow and you kind of turn up the notch and push yourself a little bit, like that's where you run into trouble too. When you're having a good time, you're usually like, oh yeah, like I still got this. When you really don't got it because you haven't been training, you haven't been practicing, and and then I always have to keep myself in check and say, okay, I need to drive a monster truck here in a couple weeks, gear down, and I need to find that balance between turning off the racer mentality and turning on the weekend warrior, I'm here to have a good time mentality. And it's been hard. I don't want to suck. I don't like to get beat, but it's my time now. I transitioned. I just have to mentally transition.
Yeah. Somebody said to me when I started riding tracks again, because I didn't even ride for probably well over a year. And I went to a track and I started riding a little bit, and they're like, do you have to, said something about, like, do I have to psych myself up now? And I was like, no. I have to convince myself, hey, you don't need to jump that.
Yeah.
Just relax,
you have to psych yourself down.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, chill out. All right? You don't need to jump that big jump. Although it looks fun. Like, and those, like you said, that 18-year-old kid is doing a big-ass scrub over it. You know? Just, it's all right.
But every time you roll that jump, you feel kind of shitty.
A little bit of my soul. A little bit of my soul gets taken away.
You're like, I used to hit this. I would have hit this.
I would have jumped it.
Not this week.
Not now. Sorry.
That's why I love California, and they have vet tracks now with super mellow jumps, and you know, I'll just go ride a much easier track now. But yeah, I mean, it's hard because I actually feel like I'm going a lot faster now because the pressure's off and I'm just cruising around, and but I'm getting older and the riders just get younger, and that 12-year-old girl whipping by me on her 85, it hurts a little bit. It stings, but that it is what it is. I mean, I'm okay with it. I just have to continuously tell myself that.
We're all at that point where we're, like you said, transition, where you're kind of like your whole life you've been chasing this thing, and now it's like, okay, well, that's not happening. Not that good stuff isn't happening, but winning that championship or X Games or something's just not a.
I think people like us get so fixated on a thing that's the issue. Is that
yes.
You're like so hard.
I gotta check on the Bambinos.
All right, you're so hard on a goal and just fixated on a goal that when that doesn't happen or when you can't make it happen, that's like it's a big blow, and you gotta adjust to that.
Setting goals are good. Setting realistic goals are, dreaming big is good, but putting too much expectation on yourself and those goals is what is going to hurt you in the end. You have to be very flexible with, those dreams and yourself. And that's kind of this key message I've learned over time is, the expectations of myself at a young age is what got me down. But the realization of this goal, that the goals and the dreams just transitioned and got bigger and, jumped ship from 2 wheels to 4. And, that's okay. That's cool and that's awesome. But those expectations that I had early on really weighed on being able to progress and go in the right direction. So, if there is any advice I could offer, it's continue to dream big, continue to set big goals, but drop the expectations and just enjoy the journey and just keep trying and pushing it. But learn as you go and allow your dreams to be flexible.
Here's the thing, though, I understand what you're saying, and I agree to a point, but, like, I think that the fact that, like, say if from ground zero you had zero expectations of your riding or anything, would you have pushed and gotten as good as you did? And I doubt that you would have. And having gotten as good as you did, and I'm assuming just from my experiences, if I hadn't have ridden and concentrated on racing as much as I did and become pro, if I wasn't a pro racer at the time when I got approached to try and jump these ramps for monster jams back in the day when it was like SFX, like 6 companies ago.
Yep.
If I wasn't already pro and jumping jumps and doing a couple of tricks, I never would have had the confidence to say yes to that. And that's one thing that you've even said through this conversation is that you've been in the position to say yes to opportunities that came up. And that's because you tried so hard to be good at what you were trying to do. And putting that much effort in and trying that hard gave you the skills.
Tools, yeah.
Exactly. To be able to take advantage of those. A lot of people say they want to wait around for this or that. But if you're not, like, I think and I'm sure you did the same thing. You just had this thing that you wanted to do. You didn't know how you were going to make it happen or if
Yeah.
it was going to happen, but you just constantly pushed towards it.
Yeah.
And that's what, and you built skills up and you built skills up. And even though it didn't go in the exact direction that you imagined that it was going to go, building those skills was still the foundation to take advantage of the opportunities that you got.
Oh, absolutely.
So if you had
And
never had any expectations and never pushed really hard and never gotten disappointed with yourself and then tried harder, you
yeah,
wouldn't
true.
have, you still wouldn't have been in the position to do what you did. So I mean, I think that although same as me, you didn't do what you wanted to initially, you still made it really far and you built a foundation that made you able to capitalize on all these things that have happened. You know, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't be down on yourself for having expectations and not reaching them. I would just see that all as the learning process, and that's what had to happen to get you here.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I'm not down on myself anymore. Like, I'm very grateful for, this career
Nick, you're
I've built and
killing us.
continue.
What are you doing?
I'm knocking shit over.
I see that.
Yeah, I'm grateful. Like, I'm grateful for all the lessons. And you're right. Like, those expectations where you fall out, you come up short, and having a little bit of regret, and then like reigniting that fire and being able to like push through it and persevere and continue along that journey no matter what obstacles have come your way. But no, I'm stoked. Like, I'm happy that it's changed and my career and goals have changed. Like, I'm very, very thankful that I dropped that goal of trying to win a pro national and trying to be the best, and dove into the business side and dove into all these other doors and facets of the industry that's allowed me to understand it on a bigger scale and try new things. And it just continues to push and open that the doors more.
Well, so let's
If I
touch
were to
on
go down one path, it would really just leave one path to go down. What's
right. Yeah, I agree. You have to be flexible, exactly like you said. It's the same thing. It took me a long time to bail out of racing and then go to freestyle because that was my life forever. So when all of a sudden this other path opened up, there was probably a year where I tried to do both. And I finally got to a point where I was like, if I'm going to actually try and make freestyle work, I can't be spending all this time trying to do motos. So I had to jump ship. But I mean, it was still super hard, to just, like you said, bail on something that was my life forever.
Yeah.
But so you actually started doing videos. I'm kind of bummed because I started doing videos a long time ago when the YouTube just started getting going, and I didn't really see the value in it. And
Yeah.
I kind of bailed on
There
it
was
a long
no
time ago.
value really in it. Like, I did it wrong. I wish someone educated me a lot more on how to capitalize on making money off
But there
YouTube
wasn't,
videos.
but it wasn't like that at the time. I don't think
No.
when you started. Like
No.
nobody was making money off of YouTube. That's why I bailed out of it. That's the exact
Yeah.
reason why I didn't build my following, because I'm just like, I don't know, what am I doing this for?
Yeah. Well, I was doing it for a different reason though, not to make money. It was, I wanted to show people, life behind the scenes, like what it's like loading up, in a Winnebago with your friends and going to the races. Yeah, it was about this journey and this adventure that I just really wanted to share with a bunch of other people, and with hopes to bring some good times and inspire little girls or whatever. Just be light and have fun with it. And I never thought people would jump on board and actually want to watch it, but I just wanted to share my journey, whatever it may be, building stuff in the garage, trying to figure out how to fix a dirt bike or going to the races on the weekends. I just wanted to share my own journey, whether people liked it or not, love it or hate it. It is what it was. I was going to do my thing and keep my ears closed and my eyes focused forward and just do me.
Seems like you understand the social media
She
game
definitely
pretty
gets
well.
it. Yeah.
I do. I understand how brands see it. I understand its value, and the transition from paper media and to the digital world now. And I don't like it necessarily, but if it's evolving and changing, you got to jump on board, or you're gonna, sink in the water. You're gonna be left behind. So I try to figure it all out and then be different. I wanted to be unique, and I wanted to do things my own way. I didn't want to sell out, didn't want to do the fit tee. I was going to use social media to be as real as possible and just, put myself out there and be real and raw. And again, either you like it or you hate it, you love me or you hate me, but that's who I am. I'm not fake. You're going to meet the same person in real life that you'll meet on social media.
That's pretty much, I think, what we've been doing. But
yeah, I agree.
It's different for a girl. It's hard. Social media sets these expectations, and it's social media is fake. Like it really is. I know I say that I want to be real and honest, but it's not real life. Like I don't know all those people. I just try to use it to showcase what I do on my daily life, but at the same time, you got to really understand that it's not reality, and people got to take it not so seriously, and understand that it's a tool for business. It's complicated. I mean, it kind of scares me whether when I have a kid how they're going to use social media, but right now it's a tool for business, and it's a tool for me to connect with my fans and my following, and you got to play it right. You got to be smart on there.
We just talk shit to all of our fans that write stuff on our Instagram. Yeah. Is that how you do it?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I think we're being real, but I think you've done it a little bit smoother. Like it's been more successful, obviously, for you.
It started off pretty rocky. I mean, I had no idea what I was doing, but it was until I just kept pushing that same message. I didn't change. I stayed the same, and I think people got it that I wasn't trying to be fake, and I wasn't trying to, false represent myself, and I was just doing my thing, and yeah, I mean, you're gonna get trolls, you're gonna get haters, but I'm okay with it now. Like I like who I am. I try to be a good person and be good to other people, and applaud people on their journey towards their goals as well. And I get how hard it is, and I feel like if you put good out in the universe, you get it back. So that's how I go about my life.
No, you do seem very positive, and especially supportive of other girls that want to ride and stuff like that.
Oh, heck, that's what it's about. Again, like this is a sport that brings people together no matter what age you are, sex, how fast you are. We're here all doing something that we love to do. So we all got to support each other, and the world is hard enough. It's tough out there. We need to have each other's backs.
Well, I think.
Bam.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was perfect.
I preach it though. I hate seeing negativity. I hate seeing people hating on each other, and I want to be that person that sticks up for that kid being bullied, or that girl just trying to make her dreams reality. Like, why are we to have any opinion on someone else trying to slay their goals? Like, there's no need for that in the world anymore.
Because we have the internet, and we can be negative about stuff from our bedrooms.
Yep. Keyboard warriors, man.
Yeah, from wherever. Talk shit from wherever now. So Javier and I always used to go, oh, that's easy from the stands. Watch somebody do something gnarly, and you're just like, that's easy from up here. I don't know what the problem is.
Now, social media is an easy outlet for people with insecurities to project it onto other people. And, it's a really, really hard lesson for a little girl to understand that because someone's being mean to them, it's not because of you, it's because of them and their insecurities.
Well, that's guys, that's everybody, to realize that lesson. I think you need to be a little bit older to fully grasp that.
So what do you think, like, having a little girl? Because my thing is like, okay, kids just, I don't know, it's a weird time. Like, I think you just don't get a phone. You don't need that until later on. But it's like, well, then you're outside the circle. How do you handle that?
You know what? It scares the crap out of me. I can't even imagine. And I kind of talk about this with some parents and kind of see what they do. And I don't know. like I understand being excluded, not having a phone. So does that mean you have access to all their apps and be able to check in and keep an eye on it? But I think the biggest thing is education. Explain how these a phone can ruin your life, man. Especially for women. Getting on these apps and these chats and whatnot. Learning what's right and what's wrong. Teach your kid good values, and maybe they'll make a smart decision. But teach them examples of what can go wrong. I mean, I don't even know. It actually scares me. It scares me. I talked to one of my buddies who has a young daughter, and she has Instagram, and he has no idea how to control it and the people she talks to, and it just gets younger and younger, and it scares me as well. But I think good parenting, good education, and just really having a good relationship with your kid and being invested in their life and actually caring. Hopefully you can do it right. Like I have no idea. I'm not.
It's just hard because it's like, well, how do you educate them? Like, all right, you have an Instagram account, but then you have to like let them know the amount of weirdos and weirdness that's out there. Like, I don't even want them to know about that.
I know. I know you have to know young. I know if they have a phone, right? You have to educate them.
I say
I don't even know.
Don't get a phone because everything on the internet ever is it's at their fingertips.
Or get a phone that is only, has no Wi-Fi or internet where you can just call back home. You can call your friends or call mom and dad.
A cup with a string to another cup.
Yeah, walkie-talkie.
Get them like a two-way pager.
Yeah, but then, like you said, there's 9-year-olds who have Instagram, and they're going to be excluded and left out from the pack, or their buddy's going to have a phone, and they're going to go on through there. It's like, it scares the crap out of me, guys. Like, it's the biggest form of birth control in the world. It terrifies me. But you just, be a good dad where your kids respect you, that hopefully they'll, be very open and talk to you about it.
You already messed up, Nick.
You know what? That's why I'm on Instagram, because I'm just trying to be ahead of the game.
Yeah, just trying to monitor.
I'm threatening like 7-8-year-olds all over town on Instagram, just talking shit.
Does everyone that comments on your daughter's Instagram?
She doesn't have an Instagram. She's 7. She's not allowed. She doesn't.
But Ike's a boy. He has one. He's what, 4?
Yeah, but he's already been reported for cyberbullying like several times.
Oh my goodness.
No, I'm kidding. He doesn't.
I know. I'm just 7 years old. They'll have Instagram. I mean.
No, I know, but no, not my kids. I just say fuck it. People just say, "Oh, that's what's normal." No, that's just normal for you.
On the law. No, yeah, exactly. That's what's normal for them, but not your household. Exactly. I dig that. Lay down the law, Dad. You got it.
All right, we're gonna.
Now leave me alone because I'm on Instagram.
All right, go on Instagram. No. All right, we're gonna wrap her up. Everybody got quiet on me. Sorry.
I know. Shut us down. Usually we keep commenting.
There you go.
I did not clean up the mess. I was not looking for the zombie.
You didn't do
Did she hang up on us?
No, I'm here.
She's still
listening.
He was in there looking for the zombie monster truck. And I went in when I went to pee. He's got like 50 monster trucks. And I don't know. I didn't realize we had that many.
I'll have to make sure I get you guys tickets. We're coming to Rosemont, so I know that's close to you.
That's us. I've jumped Rosemont before. That would be awesome.
Yes. But we have to get him a new a zombie monster truck that's not.
I'll tell Ike, I'll be like, it's not in the garbage. He's a liar. He's just an instigator. And I'll tell him that and watch him clam up when he sees you. Like, I'm like, this is the one you told you threw your monster truck away. You're like,
I'll get him to do zombie arms. He'll fall back in love. I'm gone now. I can't. I gotta have a good show.
Becky's doing them.
Yes.
Do zombie arms.
Let's see.
She says you're a wimp.
There we go.
Peer pressure works.
Awesome, guys. Well, thanks for having me on.
No worries. Good talk.
Thanks for being on.
Yeah, I wanna come back on again. Like, I enjoy chatting with a couple of people who actually, are established in the industry and have done their thing. It's kind of refreshing.
I don't know.
You get a lot of podcasts of people who are kind of,
No, we're gonna go with that. She said it. Let's run with it.
We're gonna take that sound bit that we're established.
Yeah.
We're just gonna run that. That's a promo now for the show.
Like Amy said it. Amy, how do you say your last name?
Really?
Yeah, say it.
Ami Houde. Like, I'm from the hood.
Oh, I was saying howdy because that's how I read it in my American head.
I'm French.
Amy howdy. Amy Houde. Well, that changed it up.
All right.
So Amy Houde said it first. All right.
There you go. We're established.
Right on, guys.
All right.
Well,
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. We're ending the live feed. Everybody get out of here.
Adios.
Now it's gonna ask me if I definitely want to. Yes.
Are we unlived?
No, because it's being a pain. Now we are.
There we go.
Making like